Hello everybody, and welcome back to another Path of Exile tutorial. So, 3.28 is now a week or so in. Everybody's more or less figured out what they want to do, explored the new Atlas, explored the new King's March, lots of new stuff, lots of changes. But you know what hasn't changed? The need to make money. Now, with the economy being, shall we say, questionable so far this league, something about Divine Orbs going for, what is it? 345 chaos? Money making is a very important topic. Now, my build so far this league has been kind of eclectic. It is using a very famous Cold Blade Vortex build, and I've been just experimenting and tinkering with all kinds of adjustments and changes. But one thing that I have noticed is that the build can be pretty good early on with stuff like the Resonating Shrine Belt and a few other things. But let's say that you got to a late start and you can't afford really expensive pieces of gear. Well, what do? Essences! Now, in past leagues, essence farming has always been consistent, if low, profit. This league is no exception, except for maybe the low part. I would upgrade essences and say that right now they are actually a medium profit. And there's two reasons for this. One, crafting has changed a lot. Exalts now are a plentiful resource to use to slam on items to finish them off or just create all kinds of random goodies. Essences themselves allow you to deterministically force certain modifiers that you can then exalt slam to finish, or if you fail or you don't like it, you just go again. It's real cheap. So farming and selling essences can be very, very good, particularly the corrupted essences and the brand new Mirage League essence, the Essence of Desolation. Now, there are a lot of use cases for this essence. Mage Blood at Home kind of things, where you can put it on a belt and get an increased effect of up to 3 flasks. Of note, that if no flasks are adjacent, does allow you to use tinctures. So, just a little fun thing for you to keep in mind. The left ring slot getting +1 to the maximum number of Unleash, that can be pretty useful with the Unleash bloodline. This, plus Unleash bloodline, plus the new greater Unleash support, means that you will now have, instead of only 4 or 5, you instead can get up to 10 seals, right? 4 from the greater Unleash, 1 from the notable on your tree, which I am not currently using, which is located right, where is it? Here. So that's 5, plus 1 from the new whatever you call it, and then plus 1 from your ring, so now we're at 7, and then plus 3 from the bloodline. Very potentially useful for builds that actually do make use of Greater Unleash for the damage portion, unlike my own. So, farming essences, what's the best way to do it? Well, as always, you want to pick a map layout that is relatively easy, relatively linear, and relatively short. The usual suspects, such as Strand, Atoll, and Dunes, are really good. Now, there is a drawback here. With the Mirage mechanic being what it is, maps like Strand, which previously were the best for Essence, now are kinda not. I wouldn't say they're the worst. They are still very linear, with a very good div card, so overall they're an okay map to run. But maps like Atoll and maps like Dunes over here now get the advantage of the Mirage. We're going to show this off a little bit here by doing a whole set of maps. So here we are with our scarabs of choice. We are using one adaptation. This one is a flexible scarab. If the prices don't make sense or if your build can't handle the difficulty, just drop it, replace it with an extra essence. This will give you 3 extra essences, but adaptation does apply, all your scarabs do apply in the Mirage itself. So this particular one can allow you to chain essences in such a way where if you convert and get a corrupted essence, like say an Essence of Horror, you have a 1 in whatever chance that that Essence of Horror will be transferred over to another random essence. It will always pick at least one. So if you only have one essence and it is a corrupted essence, it's guaranteed to double that essence by putting it onto another. And if that one also only, for whatever reason, had one, well, now it's got two, so now you have a 50-50 of doubling it or putting it on another essence. I had a chain where I had 6 different essences of insanity that got transferred from essence to essence to essence in a map. It was very unrealistic, but fun. The usual 2 essence scarabs. This, combined with the Atlas tree, will give you a total of 7 guaranteed essences per map, and 1 20% chance for a 8th essence. Now, unfortunately, they did remove Kirak, so you can no longer get the 10 or whatever that you could get before. You can no longer use Awakened and Imbued and all that jazz. So that's a little bit painful. You do lose out on some of them, but at least at the moment with Mirage League, if you do things right, the end result is roughly the same as what it was last week. Next, Essence of Stability. Most people know this. This makes it so that when you go to vol a essence, the only thing that can happen is you either upgrade the essence, so in the case of Shrieking, it becomes Deafening, Screaming becomes Shrieking, or it will transform it into another random essence of the same tier, with the exception of the meds essences. That is Misery, Envy, Dread, and Scorn, I believe is the other one. Those 4 essences, which I will just go ahead and show you right here, are Dread, Misery, Envy, and Scorn. These 4, if you hit them with a Vol Orb, have a chance to become one of these 4 at random. These are really expensive. 2 of these are really expensive, the other 2 are not. You'll have to look up the prices to find out which is which. So that is why we run the stability in order to force it to either upgrade or to move over. Now, these scarabs are really cheap. If you take and you hit your essence with a Vol Orb, even if all you get is the upgrade option, that's really good because you'll turn Screaming into Shrieking, basically tripling their value, and Shrieking into Deafening, again, tripling the value. Vol Orbs are cheap. I always recommend that you Vol every single essence in your map, as long as you can handle the slightly increased difficulty. Another reason for this that people don't necessarily understand is the transforming part can be good even if you're not getting a meds. Because let's say you have a stack of 4 random Screaming through Deafening essences and you Vol it. One of those 4, or even more of those 4, could wind up becoming a meds essence. And then when you defeat that monster, it could be transferred over to another. And then when you go to Vol that essence, now it can turn into a corrupted. It happens very frequently. Definitely make sure that you are voling all of your essence if you can handle the difficulty. And then finally, the standard ascent, just to make it so that every essence that you get has at least 1 deafening in it. Now, like before, we are running these on yellow tier maps that are scoured. We do not care at all about gold gains. We do not care at all about the random loot that drops. You can, if your build can handle it, run these as rare or even as tier 16. In fact, if your build is particularly powerful, I even encourage you to run them as tier 16s in order to get nightmare drops, altars, things of that nature. But more importantly than that, the second thing that we're running on our tree, and that is Calgar. Now, ore and crops were flip-flopped, and the ratio of what you need to send to what ports has been changed. It's not fully figured out yet, but what is known, or at least is theorized right now, is that when you send mixed bar shipments, meaning an equal number of all the bars and then 25 million dust, what you're going to wind up with getting back is, at most, 1, maybe 2 mirror shards, maybe a sacred orb instead of a mirror shard since they are on the same loot table, and seemingly fracturing orbs. Now, the exact way that this works is not known. Like I said, still a lot of theory testing going on in the Forbidden Trove and whatnot, or Prohibited Library, rather. But what seems to be the case is they seem to all be on the same loot table, and with the fracturing orbs being slightly weighted to be more common. This is just from all the anecdotal screenshots and postings that have been collected so far throughout this league. I have seen, on average, 3 fracturing orbs per mirror shard. I also see 1 mirror shard, one sacred orb, and then those 3 fracturings, plus a bunch of divines. So it's worth to keep in mind that if you're going to go and deliver the ore through King's March, expect a lot of fracturing orbs and not a lot of divines, or not a lot of mirror shards. But we still run this, it's still really good. We run the tree over here, especially Refiner's Bargain. With the change, so that sulfite now is granted as a random ore being now determined for getting currency, the sulfite being turned into currency is actually really, really good. Or turned into ore. So we take this, and at the moment, we are taking 100% chance to spawn Nico with a little bit of increase to the amount of sulfite we get per map. This can be dropped. If you want to, you can drop this entire cluster, especially if you do not need the Pact with Energy Notable, which is just free power and movement speed. You can drop all of this, you can drop all of this. And in exchange, what you would do is on your Atlas, you would replace one of your scarabs with a sulfite scarab. This forces it to spawn, but also causes you to gain 150% more sulfite, which is converted then into ore. The end result being, when you run a map, there's a very good chance that you're going to leave with 3,000 to 7,000 bars worth of ore, or bars if you are, well, we'll cover that in another video. But at the moment, since essences are the primary goal, we are trying to stick to this. We're not trying to focus too much on the Calgar. We also have the Lost in Transit. This can be pretty good. It's purely RNG, but you can get tattoos and other valuables. It's worth having. At a 6% chance, you know, even if you don't want to necessarily do the Calgar, you at least have this. Once again, we focus on bismuth ores. Bismuth is just one click. That's why we prioritize it over all the rest of these. But they're all good. Crimson's good, Amber is whatever, Orichalcum is good, it's one click and then you just have to kill stuff. Verisium is dangerous, but still okay, but I just like having the singular click. Lastly, we have Blight. Now, Blight is not everybody's favorite, and I understand that. But you pass right next to the Blight nodes here. This right here gives you 76% chance to have a Blight spawn. Just free. It's 4 points to have a whole league mechanic show up in your map pretty much. And when combined with these nodes right here, this is 84, this is 96. So just taking this point right here of extra and these 4 points, you force the Blight. Blight rewards include the new, very expensive Cord Belt if you do the Blight inside of your Mirage. You are not seeing things. These are low item level belts worth 160C. If you were to take and instead do an item level 84 belt, let's just say you're doing it in T16s, these are a divine. This is already split. This is split, or fractured. This is corrupted. They're all a divine. One item drop. So that's what we run. Essences, Blight, and then Calgar with sulfite conversion. It's pretty straightforward. It's very cheap. The total cost at time of recording for these essences was around 20C a map. These are 3 to a chaos. This is like 12 chaos per. This one was 1 chaos, and this was like 1 chaos. The maps themselves pretty much self-sustain because now we don't have to care about what type drops, just the tier. We run them scoured, so we don't have any extra inputs. So we've gone over all that. We've covered all that. It took a bit longer than I had intended. But let's go ahead and showcase a couple maps. Or at least one. I'll make this a shorter video. We'll just showcase one here, and then I'll do another video where I show a bunch more so you guys can kind of get an idea. But since I've already talked a little bit too long on this one, we're going to just go ahead and do one map, and then I'll go over the selling. So as we can see here, we have a whole bunch of shrieking, screaming, and then one deafening. This one's okay, but not great. So what do? We just vol it. And just like that, we got a Scorn and a Dread. Nothing was upgraded, but that's okay because now, once we clear these, which might take me a little bit of time, we'll see. Now that we've cleared them, one of these other ones could have gained, but did not seem to have gained, the Essence. Now, because this is a showcase, or not really a showcase, but a tutorial, I am going to do this a little bit inefficiently on purpose, just to make sure I go slow enough that everybody can see what's going on. So we're going to go take a look at all the different essences, see what is in the map, before we clear everything. This is important. This is what I was hoping to see. So, you notice here how we have deafening, wailing, and then shrieking of scorn? The essences themselves basically are in order on the actual mob. This shrieking of scorn is a carryover. It was added to the essence from my other one that I just did. Now I vol it, it became a deafening. It upgraded but did not convert. But that's okay. So we're going to go ahead and do this one. Grab the scarabs, because never not. And oh look! Deafening of Scorn. I can't guarantee that this is the one that we just did, because I didn't look at this one beforehand, but it probably is. And boom, just like that, now it's an Essence of Delirium. Now there's a 50-50 chance, and if we find any with Essence of Delirium on them, we will know for sure. Grab these, just so we can go faster. Oop, wrong way. Alright, let's take a look here. Nothing. Nothing. And nothing. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and do this. We upgraded all these. Once again, I'm going to try and make this a little bit quicker so that we can get to the Mirage and the selling so that you guys can see what we're dealing with here. We'll upgrade these. Yep. Come on, drop dead. Thank you. Alright, we got another deafening here. Go ahead and just run this because we can. Oop, I'm going to die because bleed. Like I said, I'm not bleed immune. This is not a fully completed build. I'm working on it. Let's go ahead and charge up our Blade Vortex here, and then where is he? Here you are. Alright. So we've cleared out all these guys. Ah, here it is. This is uncorrupted, but it has both an Essence of Delirium and another random Shrieking Essence. That means that this one got the upgrade, or got the transfer from the one we did, which itself was a transfer. And if I'm not mistaken, oh, what is killing me? Something killed me very quickly there. The upgrade that we got was like 2 or 3 upgrades deep of transfer. What is this? Oh, chaos damage. That's... Yeah, that's going to be a problem. Alright. That's the corrupted essence for you. Wow. Okay. Well, this might be actually a failed map if I can't get away from this guy, which it's looking to be the case. Okay, there we go. That was ridiculous. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and go do the Mirage, and then we'll come back and kill that guy in a second. Come on. There she is. You got a whole bunch of stuff. I don't care about any of these. Oh, actually, I want this one because I've never done this one before. I'm trying to do all the achievements, too. Alright. So as you can see here, only part of the map is in the Mirage. You can force all of your map to be in the Mirage, but this is expensive because the Mirage maps themselves, unless you're doing high tiers, are expensive. Here we have 1 Essence of Desolation, and we have an Envy. We're going to hit it. Nothing happened. But we're going to go ahead and run this one first anyways, because now there's a chance that it came over here. It did not. So we're going to go ahead and run down here. Go ahead and complete the Mirage too while we're at it. There we go. Alright, no essences down here. They do usually have the same spot, but not always, and not always the same, or never the same content, but okay. So we didn't get the one that was right there on the edge. That's okay. So there should be still one more, I believe, up here in this corner. Yep. And, we got a duplication, and this one has a Deafening of Misery. So, once again, just like with the other one, we're going to go ahead and vol it. We didn't get lucky. That's okay. So we got 1 duplication of a corrupted, or rather of a Faradun essence. And then Over here, we did not get anything, and that's all right. Go ahead and kill this guy, hopefully, without him killing me. He is really tanky because of all these essences. You do need to have a lot of single target damage. Wow, he is healing. What is he regenerating from? Okay, so we're going to go ahead and grab our Frost Bomb here, because we need to prevent that regeneration. Huh. Where the heck is my Frost Bomb? No, that's Frostbite. There it is. Alright, let's go ahead and do this. That was painful, to say the least. Alright, got away from him. We're going to go ahead and crack this guy while we're here, just so we can get it done. Corrupting Blood is not your friend. Again, make sure that you're Corrupting Blood immune and Bleeding immune when you go to do this. Corrupted Essences do chaos damage. They do apply a bleed, a Corrupted Blood, I should say. It can be very, very dangerous to you. What do we want to replace here? Actually, we'll put the Frost Bomb there. And then we'll put it on E. Alright, let's try. Nope. Okay, I don't know why I'm getting one shot here, because I am a build that has block defenses and everything else, but you at least get to see that it can be very dangerous if RNG decides to screw you over. I've never failed a Essence map, not since the very beginning of entering maps, but here I did, and I do not know why. That's always fun, getting one shot and having no idea why you're getting one shot. But anyway, we'll go ahead and just take a look at what we did get from the map. So I got 1, 2, 3 of the corrupted or special essences, and a whole bunch of other random ones. I could have gotten another 2, of course, but whatever. That's life. These essences are only worth between 1 and 3 chaos for the most part. A couple of them are worth more, but we're going to go ahead and just drop them off. And then we're going to grab all of these real quick, and these. So after you've completed your essences, after you've ran for a while and you've stocked up a whole bunch, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take all of your essences over to here, to your bench, and you're going to want to convert them. Sorry, my phone's going off. You want to convert them either into Essences of Horror or whatever the most expensive one is at the moment. Now I'm getting kind of lucky here, and I just turned all those into a stack of 10 Essence of Horror. The Faradun, to my knowledge, cannot be converted, and that is okay. We're just going to take and we're going to sell them for C. As you can see at the moment, they are 26C each. So we're going to go ahead and say we have 5 of them, 130 chaos. Perfect. But when we come to the Essence of Horror, this is where it gets a little different. So the Essences of Horror, right now, oops, sorry, let's do 10. If we were to sell them for chaos, all we would get is 270C. That is not quite a divine. But if we go and actually list it for divine, we see that it's 10 to a div right now. And so now, that's 2 divine right there. Always make sure you check the prices in divines, not just the prices in chaos, especially right now while things are so tumultuous with the market. So just from selling off those that I got earlier, the ones that we got from this map plus previously, this is all from, I should note, all of these essences are just from one set of 20 maps. Actually, no, I sold a bunch too. So this is actually only 15 maps so far. But that's 2 divines from 15 maps worth of just those special ones. And again, these all do sell. These ones right here, we'll go ahead and take a look. 20 to a divine, 50 to a divine, 160 to a divine. That's not right. Scorn's already listed. Dreads, they don't. So we're going to go to chaos now. So dreads are 3 chaos each. Okay. Scorns are 16 chaos each. That's why that whole thing to a divine is definitely wrong. Miseries are 4 chaos each, and envies are 7 chaos each. So if you have scorn, which are worth a fair bit, this right here is a little over half a divine. Actually, it's one stack is half a divine. This is 2/3 of a divine. Plus all this, it is a divine. So really easy profit to make. You can do a whole set of 20 maps, just dump tab all of your essences, go through, upgrade all of the screaming and shriekings to greed. It's not worth usually to keep them as they are, unless you're self-crafting. And then go to the market, go to Faustus, and click sell. If you want to be really efficient with your money and your time, instead of just simply selling them like this, where you sell immediately to whoever is buying them, take a look at what the other way around is. What would it cost you to buy them? So we see here that now the Essence of Scorn are 18 point whatever. Somebody wants 250 chaos worth at 18 point whatever, right? So what I could do is I have 15 of these. I will go here, change this to 15. I'll see that it's 280C. I'll flip it back. And now I have the ability to list mine for pretty close to what somebody is willing to buy for, or rather what they are costing if they were to buy it. I will undercut just a little bit. So once again, taking a look here, seeing that it would cost me 282C to buy these 15. Well, maybe I'm going to drop that down to 275, right there, 275C, boom, list it. And then when someone goes to buy these, they will sell 1, 2, 3 at a time, whatever the case may be. That's pretty much all I got for you guys. I did mention, I know we didn't really stop to look at it, but I did mention that I got a bunch of ore from the sulfite. The important thing from this, and I think we might just showcase one more map, but not actually do the whole map. Oh, there goes those essences. The important thing to know when grabbing the sulfite is it's instant. So we're going to go ahead and clear all these guys out real quick. We're not going to grab or touch anything. We're just going to do this. All right, so all the mobs have been killed. So watch the number underneath, not all the mobs, but watch the number underneath here. 358 bismuth ore. 290 orichalcum ore. Now let's take a look at what we would get from this crimson here when we run this. Just go ahead and do this, 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 this. 417 crimson ore. Crimson ore being, of course, the most common of the options that you can get. Let's see if we have any others real quick. Oh, I need to move to shield charge here. $292 petrifieds. Doesn't look like we have any more unless there's one over here. So looks like we did not get the 50/50 to get +1 free Calgary and ore deposit, and that's okay. We got one. One is good. We didn't get 2. So if we had gotten 2, we could have taken a look at this and we could have seen, oh, there was, 300 petrified amber or 200 and whatever or 300 and whatever verisium ore, whatever the case may be. So each one of those deposits of sulfite is pretty close, not exactly, but pretty close to the same as a fully upgraded by my Atlas tree Calgary ore deposit in these maps. The amount changes, of course, if the maps are rare, if the maps are tier 16, yada, yada, yada. But so does the amount of sulfite that you get that gets converted. So if you do later on want to do this in tier 16 maps, if you have a stronger build than I do, by all means do it. You grab the 3 sulfide nodes, and you basically have just had 3 of the 3 bismuth nodes that are RNG, so it could be verisium instead, but you didn't have to actually do the mechanic. You just get the ore. So with that, I hope you guys enjoyed. Bit long video today. I tried to keep this one under 20 minutes, but I did not succeed. especially not with all those deaths. I will put another video up where I just am showcasing with no commentary, so stay tuned for that, and I will see you guys next time.